So, a lot of times, the most difficult sounds for us to make in American English are actually the sounds that are the most similar to our first language. And I want to kind of discuss some of the biggest culprits, the biggest situations where you're going to see this occurring today. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, guys. Welcome to our daily American English pronunciation stream. Wake up, American. We're here every single day to give you your 5 to 10 minutes of pronunciation practice because that's what it takes. Everything we do is really dedicated around this idea, this belief that if you're trying to make serious change in pronunciation, it's something that you need to spend a little bit of time on every day. Maybe not necessarily like hours and hours, but can you show up for 5 minutes, 10 minutes? And this stream is one of our ways that we can help you to do that. And when I say we, I mean me. Hello, my name is Geoff. It rhymes with breath. That's one of the 4 keys to a natural sound in American English pronunciation, including placement, pitch, breath, and trying to weaken your consonant sounds and strengthen your vowels. And today we're going to be again looking at some sounds that I commonly see students having some issues with because they're using their first language, because not English has sounds that other languages have. It has some unique sounds, but it has some sounds that are shared with your language too. So I just want to kind of give you some sounds to watch out for. Okay. Let's start off with some consonant sounds. So the consonant sounds that I see students having the biggest issue with include, for instance, the letter N. Now, I'm going to ask you really quick, what sound does the letter N even make? If you had to make an N sound, you had to describe an N sound to someone who has no idea what it sounds like. What would you say? So I would probably say it sounds something like a mm, mm. What I don't want to describe it as is I don't want to describe it as something like n, n. Do you hear the difference there? The big difference is related to placement, where you're projecting the sound from. So when I make an N sound, I don't want to project from up here like n. I want to project from a lower position where hear a difference? To give an example, when I say a word like no, I don't want to say no. I want to say no, no, no. You can probably hear a difference between those two things. Okay, the first one, higher placement, more towards my lips in terms of the projection. And then for the second one, lower. I'm trying to engage my diaphragm more. I'm keeping things down. Okay. We can work on the opposite direction too. So, for instance, a word like pain, pain. I don't want this to turn to pain, pain, n, 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 where my placement shifts really far forward. It's impacting my vowel sound. You may even hear that A sound start to shift. I'm going to try to keep it down, like pain, pain. Another sound. So, for instance, the M sound. What sound does an M make? I was working with a student in our Mission English group yesterday on this. So, the M sound. There's a phrase, for instance, like when you want to show agreement, you can say, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. Do you hear that? That's a low placement. Mm-hmm. If I have a high placement, that can turn into like, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, versus, mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm. You hear those differences? Okay. The lower one, a lot more resonant. That's going to help keep our words at a lower placement too. So, for instance, if I say a word like, if I say like mass, mass, it's not mass, it's mass. Because if I say like mass, now I'm getting a really nasally type sound, talking through my nose like I am right now. But I don't want to keep my placement that high. In general, I want to try to keep it lower. I'm going to say mass, mass. Or if it's at the end of a word, like if I want to say like the word drum, drum. Well, if I have a high placement, I might say drum, drum versus drum, drum. Okay, in general, again, you want those second ones because the first one's slightly raising the placement and also slightly impacting your vowel sound. It's impacting your schwa. You're getting more draw, draw versus dra, dra. We're trying to keep things down. There are, of course, other letters that are similar as well. Hello to Emmanuel. Thanks for stopping by. Some similar letters, for instance, like a S and Z sounds, so like S or Z. That was with a high placement for both. Can we use a lower placement though? So more like a S, Z. To give an example, like if I say like if I say like ships, ships. Okay, Or actually, let's use sis, like the short for like sister. Keep the S sounds. It's like if I say sis, sis, that's with a very high placement, whereas I use a low placement. Sis, 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 sis. You can probably hear the placement differences there. Or if I say a word like zoos, it's like zoos, 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 zoos. You can hear the difference again in placement there, trying to keep things down. Let's take a look at some vowel sounds now. So those are just some consonants to be mindful of, but this also is true for vowel sounds. American English most likely has a few more vowel sounds than your first language does. English has a lot of vowel sounds, but there are a lot that we share, and these are the ones that I need you to be particularly careful with because it's very easy to shift back to our first language. So for instance, some of the most common ones would be, for instance, like an E sound, E. So a low placement would sound like E, but there's a good chance that in your language it sounds more like E, E, versus like E, E. For instance, take a word, for instance, like sleep, sleep. Or are you saying sleep, 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 sleep? Can you hear when I'm making the shift? Practice that for yourself. Are you able to get some of those lower ones? So again, E, E, E versus E, E, E. It's a placement thing. In addition to that, just checking things. Students here, hello. Good to see you too. Thanks for stopping by. Manuel's asking the question. Can you say a ts sound with high versus low placement? Yeah, I mean, basically it's going to be very similar to just the S, right? So like the letters TS, if you're doing that, it'll be like, if it's a high placement, it'll be like ts, 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 versus ts, ts, ts. So again, ts versus ts. Okay. Like if I say like cats versus cats, cats, cats. You can probably hear a little bit of that placement there. If you're struggling with the placement too, it may help to keep your tongue down against the bottom of your mouth. May be helpful. Okay. Another sound besides the E sound is the U sound. For a lot of languages, when we're making the U, what we get this kind of slightly tenser lips, a little rounded like U, or maybe even not quite that dramatic, but like kind of like that, slightly rounded. See if you keep your placement lower though, so it's not ooh, ooh, or ooh, ooh. It's ooh, ooh. You hear that difference? It might help to straighten your lips a little bit. Ooh, like in a word like tooth, tooth. So it's not tooth, tooth. Can you hear the difference there? Or a word like soon. It's like soon, 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 soon. That's one of the reasons why the word like soon is actually extremely difficult, because we're so used to that S, that ooh, and that N sound all using a high placement versus a low placement for all of them. So watch out for that ooh sound. Another sound to look out for as well from your first language, watch out for that O sound, like in go or slow. Thanks for Manuel on the mic. Now I'll turn it up a little bit. So for instance, when you're doing these diphthongs, like oh, you don't want to make your diphthong too crazy. You don't want to do a lot of closing of the lips, like oh, oh. As I do that, you can feel my placement going forward. Oh versus oh. Hear the difference? Oh and oh. So just watching out for that. So for instance, if I say a word like go, it's not go where you can hear that placement shift forward. It's more go, go. What we often say about diphthongs in American English, diphthongs like a, I, o, oi, diphthongs. A lot of other languages, when they have them, you clearly hear both vowel sounds. But in American English, what we're doing is we're really trying to like compress it almost into a single sound and squeeze it. So it's not oh very often. It's more like oh, 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 oh. Okay. Or if I say a phrase like, for instance, like go slow, it's not go slow, it's go slow. This gets into some of those issues too. If you've learned British English, you may be used to some of these being different. Again, like the oo sound, like if I say like pollute, British English doing more like pollute, lute versus lute, or new versus new, and things. So those are just like some quick example, guys, that I want you to be mindful of. You may have noticed that we reference a lot our Telegram group. So I'm going to be, today's challenge is going to be involving some sounds that are similar across multiple languages and make sure we're using a low placement. A lot of the words that we talked about today, pretty much we'll be talking about. So you can send in your own feedback. Telegram group members, I'll be posting that soon. So then you'll see that challenge. You can reply with your own audio and get some feedback. Thank you guys for being with me. If you are interested, I just want to let you know again about an opportunity we have for YouTube memberships. It's a new program that we started. If you're interested in seeing all of our Mission English classes where we meet 2 times a day for 30 minutes. So if you want to be there and watch an extra hour of pronunciation practice Monday through Friday, and getting lots of examples from native speakers and also non-native speakers so you can see what the difference is and what the adjustments are, this is your opportunity. We can check it out here. Hey guys, if you're enjoying our pronunciation videos and you're actually finding that your pronunciation is getting better just by using our videos, then I have an opportunity for you that you might like even more. We have a group coaching program called Mission English where we meet Monday through Friday 2 times a day. That's a big commitment, and not everyone wants to be on screen or use a microphone, but there are still people who just find value from watching the videos. If that sounds like you, this is your opportunity. With our new membership level on YouTube, you'll be able to watch all of our previous Mission English classes that are available on YouTube, and you'll be able to chat with us live for every other Mission English class that occurs in the present. So if you want to check out Mission English, but you don't want to appear on screen, you don't want to pay the full price, you just want to watch the videos to use them to study, this is your opportunity. All you need to do is click memberships and check out that $5.99 option per month. I'm excited to start working with you. So again, you'll be able to see that right below this stream as well, if that sounds like something you are curious about. All right, guys, we got snow, and I have to go brave it. Actually, I think it's still snowing through the afternoon, but I hope you guys are staying warm, staying good. Have a good day, have a good night, have a good afternoon. Once more, thank you so much for joining us here at Wake Up American. There's a million pronunciation resources out there, so the fact that you tuned into us for a little bit of your time and practice is greatly appreciated. Once more, my name is Jeff. It rhymes with breath. That's one of the 4 keys to a natural sounding American English pronunciation. And yeah, we will be back on Monday next week. You guys take care. Have a good day. Have a good night. Have a good afternoon.